Let me charge my phone. I let out a great big yawn. It was like morning had arrived just as soon as I got to sleep. As Mom set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile.
どうしたの、ケイチ?
So what happened after they met up? That's the thing I want to know.
昨夜は何時に寝たの?
12時には寝たつもりだけど、昨日はなんだか寝つきが悪くてさ。
お祭りではしゃぎすぎて興奮して眠れなかったんでしょ。
違うよ。
What is he eating? I crunched down hard on the pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. After all that had happened yesterday, and our discussion about the sound Shion heard, that banging noise like a child far away, jumping up and down on a wooden floor, the story wouldn't get out of my head, so I had trouble sleeping. It was a long night, and I kept jumping at the slight sounds of faraway tree branches, which should have been either unhearable or too insignificant to notice. When I woke up to the morning sunlight and the birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far from refreshed this morning. So, right now it seems like everyone is chill. It's not like chapter 1 where everything is very ominous. The only one who seems a bit not chill is Mion, but everyone else seems okay with it.
あれ？ケイチ君目が真っ赤だよ。どうしてだろう？
I have arrived. Welcome, Dionea.
おはよう。
So I won't be able to get through this entire chapter. He's a Sigma. I see. Wait, you're so right, Dionea. He got so mad, his eyes turned red. That's all he could see. That's why he's the Red Spartan.
どういうわけか寝つきが悪くてな。そんなわけで今日は寝不足だ。
昨日のお祭りは楽しかったね。レナも興奮がなかなか冷めなくて、
so what I was saying,
なかなか寝れなかったんだよ。
it doesn't feel like
だよ。
Like everyone else seems to be mostly fine. It's just Mion that seems a bit suspicious or like a bit off. But everyone else seems generally okay. Not that bad. In Rena's case, her excitement seemed to still be wide awake.
こういうお祭りが何度もあればいいのにね。
I wonder if anyone died. Well, judging from the tips yesterday, someone did die. I don't know who though. Doesn't seem like Keiichi died, unless it's like really Matrix and we've entered another layer of the Matrix. I don't know. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like Keiichi died.
またみんなで大盛り上がり。はう。
まあ、そうだな。
Rena talking about the festival yesterday made me remember everything I had nearly forgotten from last night. The inside of the ritual storehouse had been so utterly different from the relaxed, bright, everyday life of Hinamizawa. All those stories that Takano-san told me too. Mysterious incidents that occurred on the day of the Watanagashi festival every year. It's cool time, not otaku stuff. Yeah! You said that's the, like, brunt of it done, though, like, for the rest of Higurashi, or does it still have more, like, a lot more coming in the later chapters? The strange incidents where one person would die and one would disappear. The old stories of Hinamizawa flickering like a candle behind them. The numerous and horrifying traditions of Onigafuchi village. The villagers with demon blood in them. The terrible, cannibalistic feasts. The poor sacrifices kidnapped from human villages, victims of the Onikakushi. To quell the rage of Oyashiro-sama, the ritual involving living sacrifices. There were also many, many others. Some scenes are really weird, but the slice of life from this point on is very different. Okay. There were so many stories that just remembering them put me in a foul mood. Most of them weren't fiction either. They were true. We didn't need to fear them just because they were real, though, since it all happened so long ago. Such a very long time ago. Or so we think! Dun dun
みーちゃん遅い
dun!
ね。
I don't believe 4 has any. Okay. Before I realized it, we arrived at the place where we'd usually meet with Mion. Probably because I was so lost in
この
thought.
時間になっても来ないときは先に行ってもいい約束になってるんだけど、どうする？
Mion being late wasn't too rare an occurrence, but today she was unusually late. A few of the ominous tales from the night before came back to life in my mind again. Who would die this year, and who would disappear? It couldn't have been Mion?
どうするかな、ケイチくん。
I think the answers are it gets rid of it except for 1 or 2 scenes. Okay.
もう行かないと遅刻になっちゃうかも。
来るよ。学校休むって電話があったわけじゃないだろ。もう5分待ってみようぜ。な。
Ravenna looked at her watch and seemed a little worried, but then she nodded with a satisfied smile. We had to wait like 5 minutes. We'd have to run as fast as we could to school or we'd be late. As soon as I thought that, we spotted Mion running towards us out of breath.
みーちゃん、遅い遅い。
Why did the music cut? Okay.
待っててくれたわけ？先に行っちゃってもよかったのに。
You're glad? What are you glad about? Mion was breathing heavily, and her face was all red. Her house was right down this road, wasn't it? Wasn't far enough away for her to end up like this, was it?
みーちゃん、ひょっとして具合悪くない？
Huh? Now that she mentioned it. Rena pushed Mion's bangs away and put her hand to her forehead.
レナの手、冷たいな。
みーちゃん、ちょっとだけど熱あるよ。
そんな大したことないよ。
The vast majority of God is gone, yeah. I mean, you know, it just has to draw you in to the story. That's like the main thing, I
半
guess.
日もすればケロッと治っちゃうって。
But I still don't understand. Aren't they still supposed to have that tournament? Like, of the game? I thought they were still, like, supposed to play for that. They, like, it seems they just haven't talked about it ever. Again.
本当に大丈夫かよ。
Because there was an entire thing of Keiichi needed to give his part of the deal to the other two guys. Like, I don't know. And then they, like, I feel like that's a big deal that they would have made about it, but they're not talking about it at all.
あんまり無理するなよ。
あれ、ケイちゃん、気遣ってくれるの？
Probably happened off screen for the best, he just never did it. Okay.
嬉しいな。
That answer wasn't like Mion at all. She must have had it pretty bad.
無理しない方がいいと思うな。先生にはお休みだって伝えとくよ。
I mean, yeah, I understand, but like, I just, you know, I feel like there was an entire point about it, you know? So, like, to include that, and then Mion had the big thing of, we'll do it next week. Like, instead of doing it right there, she decided to do it next week. I don't know why.
大丈夫大丈夫。風邪薬も飲んだし、すぐに効いてくると思うから。
Mion forced an energetic expression onto her face and flexed her biceps
じ
at
ゃあ
us.
行こうか。くれぐれも無理するなよ。って言いながら、時間。
走らないと、間に合わない。
Are they really that late?
スリリングな
I
朝
feel like
に
they
なっちゃ
arrive
ったね。
pretty early though, usually, no? I feel like, you know, every time they arrive, it's like they're the only people in class.
鈍った体にはちょうどいいカツかもね。走ろう。
Hey, wait, you're sick. Don't go overboard. Mion began to run vigorously away. Anyway.
みーちゃんだって
Well, I'm
最
excited
上
to
級生だよ。
get to the answers arc. See what that's like.
自分の体のことは自分で
I
一
don't
番
think
よ
that's
く
how
わ
that
かっ
works,
てるよ。
Nana. I decided to leave it at that and assume she was fine.
よし、俺たちも行こうぜ。
Began to run after Mion. Oh yeah, and because I have work today, I won't be able to fully finish this section today. But we'll see how far we get. The school looked the same as always. The hours passed listlessly, and my lack of sleep took its toll. If there was a sport where people competed by sleeping, I'd be world champion right now. The trick to overcoming this sort of dangerous situation was to hold your pencil upside down. Why, you ask? What would you rate, like, chapter 1 to 4 individually then? So you don't draw strange patterns all over your notes while half asleep. If you were holding your pencil upside down, that wouldn't happen, would it? Bump, bump, bump. Bump, bump, bump. Something that felt like an eraser hit me in the head 6 times.
何しやがる佐藤子。
It was the teacher, wasn't it?
私は何もしてないでございますわ。
お前以外にこんないたずら誰がするんだよ。あ、消しゴムじゃなくてチョークか。え？
Oh, it was the teacher. Behind me, like a female outlaw, might hold razors, was the teacher's shadow holding 3 pieces of chalk in each hand. She threw it at him 6 times! Six times is crazy. Rumble,
前
rumble.
原くん、お顔を洗ってらっしゃい。
はい。喜んで。
That alone was enough to wake me up, but I flew out into the hallway as if shoved out by the pressure exuded by the teacher's sheer power. If I was going to wash my face anyway, then I would rather use sinks out front than the ones in the dark restroom. Thinking that, I left the hallway and went to the entrance. The sunlight was strong. So strong you wouldn't think it was June. I turned the faucet, and with a lifeless bubbling noise, lukewarm water came pouring out. If I let it run for a few moments, would it get cold? I looked at it absent-mindedly for a little while.
やっぱケイちゃんはこっちの流しを選んだか。表の方が気分いいもんね。
ん？見ようか。授業サボるなよな。
I stuck my hands into the water to find it gotten so cold that it seemed strange it had ever been warm. I scooped it up and splashed it up against my face. It's actually Shion, isn't it? Oh no, okay.
みよ、具合の方はいいのかよ。眠いのは寝不足じゃなくて、薬の副作用なんだろ？
Okay, no, okay. I thought maybe he, like, was too tired and, like, imagined it was Mion or something.
実は内緒なんだけど、昨日はお祭りの後で親族の宴会に巻き込まれちゃってさ。それで、実はエンドレスに突入しちゃって。
A bit. She made a gesture like she was tilting a cup in her mouth, which means he didn't have a cold or
つ
anything.
まり、本当に寝不足なのかよ。徹夜明けならそうと言え、紛らわしい。
I've read it. What is such a good introduction is so atmospheric. I guess I didn't reply to it though. It's like, I guess everything with about everything. It's before or I guess yeah, mainly after the Watanagashi. That's when it like I guess becomes very atmospheric. I don't know. I guess where the other chapters will lead. Whoa, why is my mouse pad so sticky underneath it? What? Okay. Yeah, I don't know where the other chapters, like how the like chapters are gonna lead off and end. I don't know if it's gonna end up with Keiichi dying every single time. But we'll see. But it's definitely a good introduction. I agree.
勘弁してよ。体調が悪いのは本当なんだからさ。
I suppose she'd be feeling lousy either way. Still, you treat colds and hangovers in completely different
心配して
ways.
損したぞ。たく、ミオンらしいというかなんというか。
Mion scratched her head, a little embarrassed. She didn't seem to be feeling well, but now that I knew it was a hangover, I didn't need to worry too much. It would go away with time after all. Wait, so did Mion not go with them to class? Why is she outside as well?
あ、でも頭がガンガンするのは本当。だからさ、さっき先生に早退していいって言われちゃった。
あ、ずるいやつ。じゃあミオンはもうこれで帰りなのか？
Now that I looked again, Mion had a bag with her. She must have been on her way home.
申し訳ないけどね。 今日は家でおとなしく寝させてもらうわ。部活できなくて申し訳ないね。今日はケイちゃんがリーダーってことでやってくれない？
多分無理だと思うぜ。俺たち、部活は全員揃った時しかやらないっていう暗黙の了解があるだろう。ミオンがバイトに行ってる時はいつもそのままお開きだったんだぜ。
Oh, okay, to your ratings. One is an 8, two's a 7. Okay, okay. 4 is hard to rate because it's so weird. So do you think it could it's equally a low and high rating? Hi, Ruben. Mion laughed wryly, saying we didn't need to worry about her. No matter how much fun we have, though, I think feeling guilty about friends who can't share in it is the sign of a really fantastic friendship. In that sense, the club Mion has created is a wonderful thing. It's on its own. How are you doing, Ruben, by the way? On its own, it's hard to rate because it enhances everything else. That's all it does. I see. Okay. As I thought about it, the moisture on my washed face dried up. I suppose we were talking too much. If I didn't get back to the classroom soon, I could get in
じゃ
trouble.
あな。俺は教室に戻るぜ。帰りは気をつけろよ。ふらふらして速攻や用水路に落ちるなよ。
I left it at that, turned around and started headed back to the classroom.
そうそう、ケイちゃん。
Mion stopped me and I turned my head to
な
listen.
んだ？
変なこと聞くけど、深く考えないで答えてね。
そりゃ内容によりけりだな。
昨日の綿流しの晩さ、富武さんと高野さんに会わなかった？
Just chilling. Yeah, I'm doing fine. We just saw the Watanagashi yesterday, so this is right after. So interested to see where this leads. I suddenly tensed up.
富武さんと高野さんはわかるよね。ほら、ケイちゃん、お祭りの前日準備の時、シオンと一緒に4人でお話ししてたでしょ？
If I could, I wanted to forget about sneaking into the storehouse that night as soon as possible. So hearing the names of the people I was at the time really got to me. Besides that, though, why was Mion asking me a question like that? I ended up staring at her, unable to answer immediately. Was she asking to see if I had seen them or not, or was she asking the question knowing that I had? I couldn't tell.
さあ、どうかな。あったような、合わなかったような。
Keiichi, are you consistently the worst liar I've seen of all time? If you can't lie, then tell the truth. This is worse what you're doing. My vague response was clearly not to Mion's liking. What answer was she expecting from me? There was no way for me to know.
そう。じゃあもう一つ質問ね。同じく夕べ、シオンに会わなかった？
My heart leapt into my throat again. The tiny needles buried underneath Mion's words pricked into me. Thing is, I don't understand. Why is he stressing out about this so much? Like, I don't get it. She already asked the question last night, right? I don't understand. Like, this is not Keiichi. Yeah, it really is. I don't understand why he's stressing so much about it.
それ、昨日も聞いたよな。俺、会ったかどうかわからないって答えたと思ったぜ。
ん？そうだっけ？また改めて聞いたら、違う答えが返ってくるかなって思ってさ。
I suddenly noticed something in Mion's eyes, something indescribable. Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Shion too. She was asking me about them. There was no doubt about it. Last night, the four of us snuck into the ritual storehouse. She knew everything. So what? There's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano-san said yesterday during the festival there was no curse. That rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdled. Mion was, almost without a doubt, aware that we snuck into the storehouse. It was nothing strange. I screwed up bad flipping on the light switch last night. Mion had been searching for me. It was simple to imagine that she had seen the momentary light and came to find out what was going on.
本当に会ってないんだね。
どうして会ったかどうかをそんなに気にするんだよ。
大したことじゃないの。富武さんと高野さんと、シオン悪く言ってる人たちがいるの。
Hmm.
な 何が悪いんだかはよく聞いてないんだけどね。
At the party, I guess, is where they were talking about them. But why? Unpleasant sweat dripped down my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud.
私、ケイちゃんが悪いことをするなんて信じてないから。でも、ちょっとだけ聞いてみたかったから聞いてみたの。不愉快な思いをさせてごめんね。
I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was, and yet I couldn't
ケ
explain
イちゃん
myself.
は、富武さんとも高野さんとも、そしてシオンとも一緒じゃなかった。そうだよね。
なあ。
Dude, I don't think he could be a worse liar if he tried. Like, I genuinely think this is some of the worst lying I've ever seen. Like, you know how you have kids' TV shows, and then you have the kids, like, trying to give, you know, like, they're making it very obvious when it's a lie, right? I don't think I've seen a worse liar in my life, like in fiction or anything, than Keiichi. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breaths. Mion's expression softened a little.
よかった。私言っとくね。ケイちゃんは何にも悪いことには加わってないって。
She definitely knows.
みんなにちゃんと言っておくからね。
Yeah, please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. To everyone, make sure. Everyone. Everyone? Who is everyone?
じゃあね。明日は元気になってるから。バイバイ。
Wait, Mion. What do you mean by everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck.
こら、遅いですよ、前原くん。顔を洗うだけなのに時間がかかりすぎです。
It was the teacher. I was taking so long she came out to get me.
すみません。ついミオンとおしゃべりを。
I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the schoolyard without me realizing it. Now I was standing at the gate.
さ、お勉強に戻りますよ。早く早く。
The teacher was being insistent. We returned to the entrance. Looked back one more time, and Mion was nowhere in sight. Damn, she sprinted across the yard. What?
ケイチ、今日はずっと元気がないのです。昨日大はしゃぎしすぎたからに違いありませんわ。
迷子になって目を真っ赤にさせて半泣きしてたやつに言われたくねえ。
Yeah, so far the others are
有名な
not
さとこちゃん、可愛かったよ。はう。
like the others are not being how do you say, like, inquisitive, or they're like not asking Keiichi any difficult questions, so I wonder why. My friends did their best to try and cheer me up, but it didn't lighten my mood. Was it far worse than I thought? Had I really done something that terrible last night? Though these thoughts remained with me for the rest of the day.
じゃあね、ケイチくん。また明日ね。
By the time I realized it, I was in front of my own house.
みーちゃんも風邪だったみたいだけど、ひょっとしてケイチくんもなのかな
え、大丈夫だよ。こう見えても風邪で休んだことはないんだぜ。
でも、みーちゃんもケイチくんも、今日は具合が
Well,
悪そう
Keiichi
だ
probably
し。
doesn't look good because of Mion, I
気
think.
にしてくれてありがとな。大丈夫。バカは風邪ひかないんだぜ。
Rena smiled, then waved to me, and left. With my shoulders bobbing up and down from breathing heavily, I entered the house. As soon as I got back in, Mom called out to me.
何？
ケイチ、悪いんだけど図書館に行って本を返してきてくれない？
めんどくさいな。
Dude, okay.
お父さんも母さんも今ね、ちょっと電話待ちをしてるとこ
Why
ろ
do
で家を開け
both
られ
of
ない
them
の。
need to wait inside for a call? Isn't one person going to be
返
answering
却
the
期限
call?
も今日までだし、お願いできない？
Fish. Did it have to do with Dad's job? No point in arguing if they bring that up.
仕方ないな。でも俺、図書館がどこにあるか知らないよ。
あら、知らないの？沖宮の駅前をちょっと進んで。
Just then, the phone rang. My parents' faces immediately turned grim. Mom snatched up the receiver.
もしもし、前原です。はい？はい、おりますけど。
Their faces look grim? What phone call are they expecting? She thrust the receiver at
圭
my
一に
face.
電話よ。早めに終わらせてね。
I tried to ask who it was from, but asking the person on the phone directly would be
もし
faster.
もし。
園崎の妹の方です。こんにちは。今はお時間大丈夫ですか？
It was Shion. The older sister had a hangover today, but the younger made no reference to it.
ミオンと同じで、今日は徹夜明けで寝込んでるんじゃないかと思ったぜ。
それじゃあおね、今日はずる休みですか？おねらしい。
She laughed warmly, but Mom glared at me, silently telling me to finish up.
ごめんな。ちょっと親が電話待ちをしてるんで、そんなに長話はできないんだ。何の用だ？
お話ししたいことがあったんですけど、長電話が無理じゃ仕方ないですね。
She sounded a little disappointed. What would Shion want to talk to me about? Now I was
じ
interested.
ゃあさ、会って話をしないか？ついでに図書館にも案内してもらえるとありがたい。
図書館って駅前の私立図書館ですか？別にいいですよ。バイトのついでってことで。
Oh, well then you should know where it is, Keiichi, if it's on the way to
じ
Okinomiya.
ゃあ、いつもミオンと待ち合わせてる場所わかるか？
Or is it if you go to Angel Mort, which is in Okinomiya, you should pass by it.
園崎家の小道に分かれる分岐の。
ケイちゃん、言ってませんでしたっけ？私、本家じゃなくて、沖宮の家に住んでるんですよ。
Oh, okay, but I guess she's coming from
だ
the
から、
opposite
待ち合
direction.
わせ場所は、沖宮駅の改札前なんかにしてくれた方が嬉しいんですけど。
Main house? Living in Okinomiya? Now that she mentioned it, it's always seemed like the Sonozaki sisters weren't communicating. Did they live in different houses? Is your favorite still Mion? I'll have to see how this develops. We'll have to see how this develops. But the reason why I liked Mion was because she was the one, like I guess the strong one, like, you know, willing to crack jokes, like the one that's like, you know, you're the most friends with. Like, that's why I liked her. And this hasn't necessarily changed. In fact, it's more Keiichi being like a jerk. But I have to see how this develops to see, like, if this is all an act Mion is putting on or what exactly. But I don't have any reason to dislike her right now. We don't know the reason why she wants us to keep us away from Shion. And to be honest, like, her wanting us to keep us from Shion, completely valid. I don't really like Shion that much. But, I mean, she is the only person that seems to be the one that is not, I guess, quote-unquote brainwashed by this, like, society. But I don't know the reason why that is. So, like, I can't say, even though I don't like Shion's character right now, I'm sure that she has a reason to be acting like this. Also, now that she mentioned it, Rena said that she never met the younger sister despite going over to play sometimes.
じゃあ、駅に集合な。すぐに行くよ。じゃあ。
I set the receiver down and Mom immediately thrust a large pile of library books in my face. 6 volumes of long-form mystery novels. Mom had her own
圭
hobbies.
一、よろしくね。お夕飯までには帰るのよ。
じゃあ、行ってくれよ。
Okay. I suppose I changed my clothes and grabbed my bike key. I climbed up the stairs to my bedroom. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process.
ミオンと違って、シオンは待ち合わせ時間を守るな。しみじみ。
Excuse me?
おねを標準にされると、いろいろと困ります。
Hmm? Shion seemed a little unsteady too. She was drinking with Mion last
お前
night.
も夕べは寝てないんだろ？隠しても無駄だぞ。で、学校を早退したに違いない。
残念でした。私はそもそも今日はずる休みしてますので、私、おねより容量いいですから。
Hey, I don't think you can call playing hooky smarter.
じゃあ、先に用事を片付けます？時間もそんなにないですから、図書館へ行くんですよね。
ああ、頼むよ。お袋の借りてる本の返却期限が今日までらしいんで。図書館は遠いのか？
すぐ近くですよ。
Like, yeah, I just don't understand why Mion is so against us meeting with Shion. Like, the only thing I could think of, which I don't think is necessarily the case, is that, like, what I think it's that's the agenda that they're trying to push, but it's not actually it. The entire idea that, Mion likes Keiichi and, Shion is, like, quote unquote, trying to steal Keiichi from her, and, like, that's the agenda I think they're trying to push. But I don't think it's that. I don't think that's the reason. As she said that, we spotted the signboard for the library almost immediately. If it was this easy to find, then I guess I didn't need Shion to show me where it was after all. We rode around a bend, and the building was right there. Shishibone Public Library. We lived in the country, so I hadn't expected too much, but it was pretty big. The first floor was actually a government office, so the library was only on the second floor. But it still looked large enough to fit a decent collection of books. We passed through the automatic doors and were greeted by the cool breeze of an air curtain. The cicadas have been loud outside, but it was quiet inside the library. The air conditioning inside was keeping the temperature at an ideal level for the books, which had that mildewy smell unique to old
どこの
paper.
図書館も似たようなもんだな。
There was one difference. It was that people studying for tests weren't taking up all the seats. I was one of those people, but now that seemed like a distant memory.
すみません。返却に来ました。
The librarian went through the process of checking them in and then returned my mom's library card. Shion was going around the bookshelves with a deeply interested look on her face. Like she wasn't the type who went to libraries very
悪い
often.
な。お待たせ。終わったよ。
図書館って涼しくていいところですね。私、将来は図書館で働きた
Want
い
to
で
work
す。
in a library someday? I'm sure you could find some things to do right now.
地味というか堅実というか、姉と比べると随分とささやかな希望だな。
Mion would definitely want to be a hardworking employee for an international trading company or some other crazy job that involved her running all around the world. Compared to that, what Shion said is pretty heartwarming.
まあ、互いの持ち味を大切にしたいですよね。私たち、分身じゃなくて、シオンとミオンというちゃんとした個人なんですから。
双子は双子なりにいろいろと考えてるんだな。
Did you smack yourself? I was adjusting myself in my chair. I don't think I smacked myself though. At least, I don't feel any pain right now. So I don't think I smacked myself.
でも楽しそうだよな。俺には兄弟はいないから、うちには俺以外は親しかいない。窮屈なもんだよ。
You will feel pain. I see.
私だってそうです。お姉とは一緒に住んでるわけじゃないですから。
Alright, she said something like that, didn't she? Why though? Sisters living apart is unusual. We were getting tired of talking while we were walking. We ended up going to the lounge area, which was vacant, and continuing the conversation.
ええ、お姉は本家に、私は沖宮の家に住んでるんです。
本家ってなんだ？随分と立派な響きがあるけどな。
I mean, considering that she could call someone to send a car out, I think they definitely have some eliteness to them.
本家は本家です。園崎家の本家。お姉は跡取りだから、バッチャと一緒に住んで、いろいろと当主としての修行をさせられてるみたいです。
Mion, the head of the family? It kind of fit her personality, but it kind of didn't, too.
ケイちゃんは引っ越してきたばかりでしたよね。自分で言うのもなんですけど、園崎家ってここいらじゃ結構名士なんですよ。
Personages? I don't know what that means.
本当かよ。
The word personage didn't really match the extremely sociable air that Mion and Shion gave off. From what Shion explained, the Sonozaki family goes way back to the beginnings of Hinamizawa. After the war, they had a bunch of successful ventures and extended their influence to a wide area.
園崎家はですね、親族全体で助け合う土壌があるんです。今の当主のバッチャが築き上げたんですけどね。
The entire family would provide backup to help one relative with a business venture. They were like a huge living company. This let them avoid tax-related problems and help relatives' ventures succeed one after another, using large amounts of money.
沖宮の街を歩くことがあったら、看板とかを意識してみてください。園崎の親族が経営しているお店ってとても多いんですよ。
言われてみれば、例のおもちゃ屋も親類の人が経営してるみたいだったな。
I mean, Mion did say it was her uncle.
そういえば、エンジェルモートも親類の人が経営してるんじゃないの？
Yeah, and didn't Shion also say that it was one of her uncles as well running Angel Mort? Even what few shops I was familiar with were involved with the Sonozaki family. It was definitely surprising.
特に金融不動産関係は強いですね。あと商工会議所の役員も何割かは園崎姓かその親類がついてます。沖宮一帯を評伝に市議会議員と県議会議員にも園崎がいますし。
Damn, okay.
ちょっと
They're
待
up
って。
there.
なんだかすごい話になってきたぞ。
Yeah, it is. Her relatives operate shops in downtown Okinomiya, and they're especially strong in finance and real estate. On top of that, a lot is in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry are relatives, and there are even people elected to local
ひょ
offices.
っとして園崎家ってこの辺り一帯じゃすごいんじゃ。
ねえ、
Oh, here's Uishi.
すごいんです。
All of a sudden, a cigarette-smoking, overweight old man interrupted our conversation. Wait, I know this guy.
どうも、こんにちは。今日はデートですかな？羨ましいですね。
そうだと思ったら邪魔しないでほしかったですね。大石さん。
That was it. He was Oishi-san, a police officer. I thought it was this person who came to our rescue when I got involved with those delinquents before. Now that I thought about it, Mion didn't seem to like him very much.
いえいえ、すみません。知ってる声が聞こえてきたのでついつい。
Oishi-san laughed coarsely, not showing any sign of giving up. Excuse me. As Shion watched him do so, I didn't feel the same sense of malice from her as I had from Mion.
前原さんでしたよね。あなたもタフな人ですね。園崎姉妹を二股かけるなんて。
いや、そんな二股だなんて。
I turned around to look at Shion and plead for help, but she grinned and maintained her silence. Her gaze wandered. She looked at the clock.
ごめんなさい、ケイちゃん。
Oishi-san's classic greeting, I guess.
私もうバイトの時間なんです。
How are you doing? What do you want me to call you? Lamb? Or is there another thing you want me to call you? How's your day though?
そうなのか？
Lambda is fine? Okay. Sounds good. Wait, didn't Shion have something to talk about today? Now this weird man is here though.
また今度。あ、バイトが終わったら電話します。夜なら電話大丈夫ですよね。
ああ。
Okay, so I guess maybe what she wanted to say was related to the stuff they explored last night, or maybe even the banging sound.
大丈夫だと思う。
じゃあ今夜電話しますのでその時に。
This is Watanagashi. I didn't know which one it was, but yeah, it's chapter 2. Shion left so fast she was practically running. Uishi-san was waving at me with a grin. It felt like I'd been left here as bait so she could get away. Maybe she was lying about having to go to work.
園崎のご令嬢とこれだけ親しくできるなんて、前原さんもなかなかの大物ですね。私も口の利き方を改めた方がい
The
いか
thing
も
is
し
that they
れ
go
ま
to
せん。
school together as well, right? Like, well, we're learning that apparently there's big shots, right? So why didn't they go to different schools? I guess no, because it probably has something to do with they don't want to leave Hinamizawa. That's why the families... Haven't seen anyone read the console arcs? I don't know. I mean, I just bought everything that was on Steam. I just went off of what, like, you know, people who played the game what they were telling me. Like Diana, if she's here. She was the one that like said for me what to buy, so this is what I'm just going off of. I just know this to be chapter 2. Oishi-san put a coin into a vending machine as he said something a bit appalling.
Iced tea でいいですか?
Why is that appalling, Keiichi?
ミルクは入れます?
あ、いえ。
じゃあ入れますよ。
Okay, well, I guess he's getting iced tea.
はい、どうぞ。
We'll see how this works. I'll put some in the... Okay, well, we're getting iced tea for free. Are you a big fan of the Higurashi series, Lambda? He handed me a cup of tea, filled to the brim with ice, as I looked on absent-mindedly. I don't think I'm obligated to have a guy like this buy me a drink, but he did get it for me, so I'll thank him. Was Oishi-san just killing time? We didn't know each other well, but he still engaged me in a conversation about all sorts of dumb things. Maybe I will stream, but then I think the main thing is you have to want to enjoy it. If you're worried about getting the most amount of viewers initially, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. But if you're just like sitting there and you just keep talking and talking and talking, his name is, oh, I see, okay. If you keep talking and talking and talking, I think it's like, because for me, I'm not necessarily a good talker. I just say whatever comes to mind, though. Like, I'm not the funniest person. I'm not the, like, most entertaining, energetic person. I just say whatever comes to mind. And I think that works for most people. Okay. When I thought back to how I talked with Shion, this seemed like a total disaster. Oh, I see, okay.
前原さんは園崎さんのことをどれくらいご存
Okay,
知
so we're gonna get some more Oishi-san lore.
さっき聞いた以上のことは何も。
Until then, I hadn't known anything about Mion or Shion, other than the fact that they were interesting. I really did just learn that she was the daughter of some prestigious family.
園崎家はこの地域一帯を牛耳ってるヤクザ屋さんです。
Oh, what? Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Oishi, where was this last time? Where was this last chapter you explained? You were giving us like an explanation?
ちなみに彼女のお父さんは関東でも有名なヤクザの大幹部さんです。ご存知でした？
え、大幹部って。
シオンさんのご自宅をご存知ないんですか？高い塀に有刺鉄線と監視カメラで守られた
That is wild. I was not expecting that at all.
ヤクザの組長宅です。
What are the console arcs exactly?
今度ぜひ遊びに行ってみてください。
She'd mentioned Mion being a successor, but to a Yakuza group?
いえいえいえいえいえ、まさかまさか。園崎ミオンさんが継ぐのはそんなちんけなヤクザ組織だけじゃあ
Okay,
り
but
ません。
wait a second. This is... How is Oishi-san now reading his mind? What? I don't get this. Because this is like not something... A boring old...
彼女が継ぐのは園崎家そのものですよ。
I don't get, like, this doesn't make, like, how? Because he literally did not say anything about, she'd mentioned, like, in this conversation, there was nothing about her being a successor. There's nothing about that. And then he just thought she'd mentioned me on being a successor, but to a Yakuza group. And then he just responds, no, not at all. This just doesn't make sense.
そのあたりの意味、ちょっと噛み締めていただけますか。
Also, arcs are the arcs that, when the game came out for game consoles. Is it stuff that you can get on Steam, or is it not available? Some should introduce new characters. I see. Oishi-san had spoken lightly. Okay. About all this from start to finish, but what he was saying wasn't light in the least. It was abrupt and unbelievable.
ミオンさんがその気になれば、往来の真ん中で人殺しをしたってもみ消せちゃうかもしれないんですよ。証人は現れないだろうし、警察にだって圧力をかけられますし。
ミオンは人殺しなんかしないぞ。
しません、ものの例えですよ。
大石さんでしたっけ？名前。
ねえ、そうです。
大石さん、ミオンの家が何だろうと、ミオンは俺の誇れる最高の友人です。それをあまりけなすような言い方は、好きになれないですね。
I think it's a fair thing, Keiichi. I let my quiet anger show through my gaze as I stared at him. Of course, I can never seem to tell what he's thinking, so I don't know if it had any effect.
では、ざっくばらんに。
You haven't bothered with the console arcs? Any reason why you aren't interested in the console arcs?
そのミオンさんにいくつかの事件の嫌疑がかかっているとしたらどう思います？
Oh, and that's what Mion being a member of the Yakuza kind of makes sense. Where at the very end of chapter 1, there was like the leader or whoever showed up to Keiichi's house. Suspected? Incidents? You can't just say terrible stuff like that on a whim.
何かの誤解に決まってるじゃないですか。ミオンは物騒なことを言うやつだけど、そんな悪いことをするようなやつじゃない。
前原さん、お静かに。
They aren't really necessary for the overall story. I see. Okay.
ここ、図書館ですから。
Oishi-san shushed me, but in the state of heightened excitement as I was, I wouldn't be calmed so easily.
落ち着いてください。さっきも申し上げました通り、園崎家はいい意味でも悪い意味でも、この辺り一帯で強い力を持っているんです。
And then I guess it kind of makes sense, them having the ritual. Yeah, I guess they're really trying to play both sides of it being a either real thing or fictional thing. Or, I guess, fantasy elements to it. But I still am more believable for the fantasy side of it. Like, there was just a lot of stuff at the end of last chapter that just didn't make sense to me.
ですから、ちょっと何かあるとすぐに疑いがかかってしまう。そのあたりをご理解いただきたいのですよ。
Well, I know what Oishi-san is trying to say. Combining it with what Shion told me before, the Sonozaki family is huge and controls everything from Hinamizawa to Okinomiya. Mion, meanwhile, is its successor, who apparently holds strong influence over the entire family. Still, that's all? That's the only reason they're suspecting her?
ですから、私だって仕事で仕方なくやってるんです。ミオンさんを疑うためでなく、ミオンさんの疑いを晴らすために捜査をしている。そうお考えいただきたいのです。
You could talk a dog out of a meat truck. He was the definition of a shrewd, unfair adult. Send you something on Discord? What'd you send me? Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Some others are like retelling of an arc you already read, but with different. Oh, okay. Like from a different perspective. That's cool. At this point, I began to think that it was no coincidence I met him. Okay, so it seems like chapter 3 is really important. Chapter 5 also. No, mainly chapter 3 is important because it's like 3 different subsections to it.
大石さん、ひょっとして俺に用なんですか？
ねえ、そうですよ。前原圭一さん。
He answered in an absent tone of voice.
何かの事件でミオンを疑っていて、その友人の俺に何か聞きに来た。そういうことですか？
いえいえ、違います。 私は園崎美音さんの友人と話をしに来たのではなく、前原
You've only
圭
done the main
一さんに
chapters,
話
okay.
をしに来たのです。ご自宅にお伺いしたらご迷惑でしたでしょうからね。
俺に警察が
Well, okay,
何の用
but
だっ
how
て言う
did
んです
he
か
know, though, that Cade... Because, okay, he said he's not going to go to the house. Fine. How did he know he would be at the library today? What gave that away? Having realized this fake coincidental meeting had me as its target, my mood immediately turned foul. Unless they had someone following him the entire time, and then they said, okay, Oishi, he's on the move. And then, like, someone followed him until he went to the library, and then that's when Oishi showed up. That's, like, the only thing I can think of.
そんなに構えなくて大丈夫ですよ。肩を楽にして、ちょっと質問に答えてくださるだけでいいんです。
それって職務質問ってやつですか？
偶然知り合ったおじさんとの世間話ってことにしましょう。
Yeah, yes, I did finish that. I did remember the incident with Rena in her previous school. Oishi-san freely suggested that I relax. That said, behind his eyes was a light which I could only see sometimes. That was sharp as a hawk. Okay, I have to go to work soon, so I think we'll probably play like maybe 10 more minutes. And then we'll call it here. We'll see if we can finish up this conversation with Oishi and then see from there. Oh, thank you very much, Lambda, for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. That talks about the incident. What happened? Okay. If I tried in vain to run away, he might actually take me in and bring me to an interrogation room or something. That was an undoubtedly unpleasant thought.
ゆうべは渡長市のお祭り、盛大で楽しかったですね。
はぐらかさないでください。今さら世間話なんかされても。
昨日の渡長市の晩、
There was a murder.
富武二郎さんと
Okay.
高野美代さんにお会いしませんでしたか？
Gulp. I could plainly feel myself give a
あれ、
start.
写真はどこに行っちゃったかな？ああ、あったあった。
He opened a small notebook and removed 2 photographs. I didn't have to look.
さあ、どうでしょう。
Dude, I don't understand why he's so tense about this.
あったような、合わなかったような。
I was asked the same question for the second time today. I gave the same answer for the second time too.
あれ？記憶が曖昧ですか？
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, once I reach the end of chapter 3, we'll definitely see. I mean, I do plan to at least finish the main chapters, so no doubt about that.
まさかアルコールが入っててよく覚えてないなんてのはなしにしてくださいよ。
So you've played through all the, like, every single, like, side content stuff as well for Higurashi then? Have you done the same for Umineko? Here too, I got the same answer as I had from Mion. I realized he wasn't taking my vague reply well. Yes? Okay, I see. Nice. Why is he asking me the same thing Mion did? Are you just a fan of visual novels in general, or just like these I guess these ones? The dark feelings I had nearly forgotten due to my conversation with Shion came rushing back in a hurry. We snuck into the sacred ritual storehouse. Punishable act. It was on a tiny impulse. Well, I don't know what you want me to say. What is a better way to generalize it? It was on a tiny impulse. I see. Okay, that's fair. It was on a tiny impulse. I forgot that it's called, like, you know, like When They Cry as part of the other ones as well. While it may not count for much now, I do feel sorry about it.
もう一度
Like
お聞き
Umineko
し
and
ますよ。
Sakonia have When They Cry.
ゆうべのお祭りで富武二郎さんと高野美代さんに お会いしませんでしたか。
His tone was soft, but there was a dreadfulness in his voice, clearly different from the first time he asked. I'm scared. That was exactly how I felt.
繰り返し聞かれても、答えはさっきと同じです。
I don't really remember. There wasn't any better answer I could give him. I didn't have the balls to say I didn't see them, nor the courage to admit I had.
そうですか。改めて聞けば、さっきとは違う答えが返ってくるかな。
That same thing Mion said. I'm too scared to look at Oishi-san in the eyes.
では、質問を変えます。ほら、前原さん。リラックス、リラックス。
Did you bring his face closer? No, don't worry, Lambda. That's cool, you're uploading it in Spanish as well. Oishi-san grabbed my shoulders and squeezed them as if trying to give me a massage. It mostly just hurt, though. Still, why would he ask the same things as Mion? If he's asking the same things, then the next question must be...
同じく夕べのお祭りなんですが、園崎しおんさんにお会いしませんでしたか？
Clatter, clatter, clatter. I wondered what that sound was, and when I looked down, I saw it was the unmelted ice in the cup I was gripping in my hands. My hands were trembling, rocking the ice back and forth. Realizing that, I hastily put the remaining ice in my mouth and crunched down on it.
すみません。
The first language is Spanish. I'm from Mexico. Very cool. Nice. So you're uploading it in the both languages that you know? I mean, it's good enough, you know? Like, you don't need perfect 100% English. Like, it's very good. I mean, I'll be able to converse with you. And I think that's what's important.
あったかもしれないですけど、ほら、ミオンにもそっくりですから、ミオンと見間違えてるかも。
そんなわけはないでしょう。
Suddenly, Oishi-san grabbed both my shoulders and hunched down to give me a level stare. This must be what it's like to be a deer in the headlights. I've never seen this face before from Oishi. I want to look away, but I can't. This is the first time I've experienced such a piercing stare.
ミオンさんもシオンさんも服装は全然違うんですから、そう簡単に見間違えるはずはありませんよ。
That's why I'm not brave enough to do an English stream or talk or read. Well, I think, you know, the more you try to do it, the better you'll get at it, I think.
前原さん。
Like, it would probably be difficult. Like, yeah, I can't even imagine doing a stream or anything in a foreign language. Like, I can't even imagine, right? But if you, like, want to improve, the best way is to just, like, throw yourself out there and to just try to keep going. His voice was harsh. Harsh, the same as when Mion said it. I could feel my heartbeat quickening. When I realized he could feel it through the hands on my shoulders, I got even more scared. Why? Why are Mion and Oishi-san both asking about last night? Was sneaking into that storehouse so bad? I shouldn't have let Takano-san talk me into it. Tomitake-san casually said to check it out too, so... Even Shion, if she hadn't encouraged me... No, I understood. I was the one most at fault here. I shouldn't have let my curiosity get the better of me. I shouldn't have gone into the forbidden storehouse.
おいさん、ホタルの光っす。
A young man wearing a suit came into the lounge. Oh, this is the first time I think we've seen him. From the way he held himself, I knew immediately that he was Oishi-san's subordinate.
ん？ありゃ、本当だ。もう閉館なんですね。
I hadn't realized it until he said something. The jingle and announcement telling patrons that the library had closed and had started playing without me realizing it. I was so irritated, so overwhelmed that I couldn't even hear it.
じゃあ、前原君。もうこんな時間なんで、私たちは失礼させてもらいます。このお話は、もっと時間のある時にのんびりといたしましょう。
Sounds good, Lambda. Hope you enjoy your stream then. This isn't a joke. If I never saw him again, it would be too soon. Oishi-san followed his subordinate and left the lounge behind him. However, he spun back around.
そうそう、前原さん。
なんですか？
さっきさせてもらった2つの質問ですが、どちらの回答もよく覚えてないでした。
はい。
参考までに。あなた、昨日全員にお会いしてますよ。4人で楽しそうに歩いてたじゃないですか。石段のところで。
Stone steps?
私がこの目で見てますから。
I caught my breath and my heart seemed like it was about to stop. What a detestable person. He knew, and he was testing
で
me.
はまた。良いお年を。
I sat there like a rock, unmoving until I could no longer hear the clacking sounds of their footsteps. Okay, and I think that is a perfect place to leave off for today. It's like the thing rolled, the title screen rolled. Oh wait, is it done entirely? No, surely not, right? Okay, yeah. Alright, here's a good place to save, so I'll do that right here. Okay, yes. So, tomorrow, we'll continue from there. Yeah, shorter stream, but I do have work, so interested to see. So, it seems like in this arc, Tomitake-san, or so not Tomitake, Oishi-san is taking a more combative role, compared to last time. Whereas before he was trying to be like, oh, I'm on your side, and is trying to help us. It's, this time he's more like trying to, maybe not antagonize is the right word, but he's definitely more against us, it seems. But yeah. Okay. That'll be it from me then for today. Yeah, I think work should be fine. I don't think there'll be an issue, but we'll see. Thank you for everyone who stopped by the stream. I appreciate it. And I'll be back with